Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official Mr. Worldwide's team stream. Yes! The time has finally come very early here into 2025, 3rd of January, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, they did not keep us waiting. Straight back into the RLCS action for, of course, the greatest region in the world. I said it last season. Do you think my opinions have changed after that World Championship? Of course, this is the toughest region, and I tell you what, some players are not brave enough to take us on. Not many teams move across regions to play here. And, well, you've got some European teams as well going to other regions to go for an easier competition. Hey, that's an A included. I'll say it. Europe is where it's at for when you want top talents. And Mr. Worldwide are looking to include themselves in that. We've got a command, so you can get all the teams. You can get their Twitter, the manager and the coach included. I believe that is just !team. But these are names which need no introduction. One of them already actually on my screen because he just followed. Thank you very much. It is, of course, Mr. Smashy. We've got ourselves Lasser as well and Icon. And they're coached by Verdane. Of course, it's Nordic, one of the best coaches, I just want to say, here in Europe, potentially the world. But look, they're looking to make that calling in this very season. And, well, this is the kind of roster that has such big names behind it. If any of you are here from Europe, if any of you are, somewhat knowledgeable of what's just around the kind of top 16 area, you will know about these three players. I mean, George, who is our manager, he was initially going to retire from management. But the truth is, when this caliber of player comes knocking, you answer. It's exactly what I did. It's exactly why I'm here for the team, running the team stream. And it's the reason we've got Coach back into the big man Coach George back into a management position. Now, at the moment, we are waiting for the team before us because we are an extremely high seeding. I just want to say it is seed 27 for, of course, this top team. We do have ourselves a bye. We do have some time to wait for this first match. It's Defenders versus Cold Blood Gaming in Winners Round 1. If you want to see the bracket, we've also got a command for that as well. Is !bracket, I think I want to say. I just cooked it up just before stream, and I am aware that at the moment, they are still checking in. One of the players has done so, the other one has not. So either we could be waiting for quite some time for a forfeit, or they start playing and we're going to have to wait for a full series to go underway. Whether I go into a break screen for that is... well, we're just going to play it by ear, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, thank you for the follow, Priatonin. It's lovely to see you here. I saw you on Twitter as well, giving great support to the team, as we all should be doing. When do G2 play? Well, that's an unfortunate story. Look, organisations have been coming and going, but Mr. Worldwide, we're perfectly orgless. So we've got a lovely logo as well, which you'll see on the bar overlay very soon when we get ourselves in a lobby for the first series. But I hope you guys are excited for these team streams as much as I am. Of course, you can see me alone today for this one. Not in the best of lighting. Typically, I'm at home in university, but I did throw all my stuff over here. I've got a new microphone. If that's too loud, too quiet, ladies and gentlemen, please do let me know. This is all for your viewing pleasure to see some of the three best up-and-coming players in the entire region. Of course, we've got Smashy, who was able to make main event with La Masia. I had the pleasure of casting that team in qualifier 5 and 6. 5 was, of course, the one they qualified and made a fair bit of history. And, well, Smashy, he is an absolute magician. I do have that name reserved for a certain other player, but that's a player I also wish finds great success. But Smashy, there's just something special with the way he plays Rocket League. It feels like every touch, there's always the obvious option. The defenders are there. They know what's coming. And then he'll pull off an absolute masterclass. He makes magic happen. He is one of the most mechanical and most fun players you could ever watch. So I feel like, if you want a team that... yeah, in case I hit a big shot, don't turn up your mic. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Smashy definitely has the capabilities of doing that. And it's the same here alongside these two players, Lasser and Icon. Lasser, of course, residing from Spain, 20 years old, had some experience with Pentancos last season, a team of which I did watch from afar. I don't think they were quite able to make a main event last season, but I feel like they're going to be able to do that and much more this time. My confidence is honestly at an all-time high for this roster. And of course, Icon. I mean, it says it in the name. He's named himself perfectly. He is an icon. He will be the icon. And, well, they call us Mr. Worldwide. Well, we'll see if this team can go international. I am just looking at the bracket here to see if those last two teams have checked in yet, Defenders or Cold Blood Gaming. Unfortunately not, which I think means that I have to wait 5 minutes still to see if there's going to be a forfeit or if they are going to play out this series. It's all going to be best of 3 today. We're going to have to play a round 2, a round 3, and a winner's quarter final for the double elimination. And a lot of you guys may be very used to the last format for 2024, if you were joining in that season, that it was double elimination all the way until, of course, that coveted day 3, that main event where we did have ourselves that Swiss stage on the mainstream, and that's what you would consider the main event. But the format has changed quite a fair bit, so it's still double elimination for days 1 and days 2, but it gets a lot tougher in those later stages than it did before, and then you move on to a Swiss stage, and I believe there is multiple groups of this Swiss before, of course, it goes into the new GSL format, which is a bit like groups, but it's formed in a bracket. I would recommend that you go out there and literally just search up on YouTube, not YouTube, and Google Images GSL bracket. It's one of those formats that I think is really hard to explain, and you just simply have to see it visualized. I know I'm definitely a visual person, and I'm sure later you'll be able to have that visualization, of course, with the Mr. Worldwide's name on it, because listen, we are looking to go all the way. This isn't just a team that picked themselves up for the sake of it. This is serious. Okay, we're looking for those further points. We're looking for those main events, whatever you want to call them nowadays here in RLCS 2025. This is going to be more than a breakout season. All these players, I believe, had RLCS points before. I think Lasser, just a few seasons back, 22 to 23, it actually says here on the other side. Yeah, confusing but fun, I would have to agree, but that's how we like to do it. It's fun to follow once you have the brackets open, and there are a few team streams underway at the moment. Some of my good friends will be casting them, but hopefully we're going to have the best team performance here on this one. Again, talking about that bracket, just like before, I don't believe those two teams have checked in yet, and I think as it stands right now, we'd kind of rather that wasn't the case if we wanted to get this show on the road, because I feel like a best of 3 now takes a bit longer than it would to just reach that forfeit point. And yeah, we are just waiting for those teams. We are expected to have a pretty confident time through this day 1, but I did actually look a little bit further down the bracket into day 2. And if we are to win all of our games in day 1 and our first game, I believe, of day 2, maybe even a second, we will go on to play SICK, which especially those who are more in the Benelux scene will be very familiar with. That's a very good roster, the likes of J-Wits and Chippy, who I think are a very impressive duo. They've been together for quite some time now, and if we are able to take them on, of course this is all assuming all these players get all their wins beforehand, we will then go on to play Stormtroopers, I believe they are called at the moment. That is currently, apparently, Jack, Stizzy, and I want to say Jorius's team. That would be our final round in the uppers matchup to try and get us into Swiss. That would be an incredible game to see here, and of course a massive test for these 3 players. But with the nature of the bracket, with the nature of competitive Rocket League, you have to prove yourself for that position. That comes from winning all your games in day 1 and all your games in day 2. I feel like in this first day, even dropping a game is going to be seen as a bit of a disappointment for these very, very high-standing players. They are expected to just sweep their way through 6 games of very competent action, and I think it will be a good chance for these players to show off a bit of fun, show off a bit of the mechanics, have that opportunity to get those fingers warmed up before day 2. And I've also had some words with the manager himself, of course, big up George, exclamation mark team, if you want to follow him on Twitter. And we might be able to get a player interview after this stream as well. That's not going to be a promise. I'm not going to promise that, but I will say that it is pretty likely. And if that is able to happen underway, that would be honestly incredible, because these are players that I definitely want to speak to, mostly about their motivation and what they've changed in this year, because like I said, these are all three players that have had a taste of that European main event and are looking to take it to the next level. Now, check-in has just gone over 15 minutes between Defenders and Cold Blood Gaming. I hope everyone here now is more acquainted with myself and anyone else in chat, the team and the players, and of course the bracket, which has changed here in 2025. But for now, whilst I wait for the action, I am just going to go onto a break, the length of which is to be decided by that first round. It was great to get introduced to all of you. Let's get this show on the road after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, our opponents have been decided. It was between Defenders and Cold Blood Gaming in the A block of Pool A27, of which you could check using exclamation mark bracket. And after a disqualification and no show, it is Defenders who will be our opponents. We know they're available. It would be a double DQ if they were not around. They did have to check in. So we should have a game on our hands, a cheeky little best of three, which I'm sure the boys will be able to get done in two. Now just details are being passed around between the players and we will be able to get ourselves started. I hope you guys are really interested to see what this team has to offer. I know that they've been in the kitchen for quite some time cooking, played some off-season tournaments as well. That just goes to show their commitment to the game. They played one, I want to say just a couple of days ago, just before the end of New Year, where they did manage to perform extremely well. It was a nice way to fill themselves out against the likes of some top competition. I know that some of my friends over at Team Hosky were playing there as well in this tournament, of which they had quite a successful run. I believe we faced defeat to them in the lower brackets, but listen, this isn't about the off-season. RLCS 2025 has truly begun, and this is where you put your name on Champions Field. This is where you secure yourself in history. 2025 is looking to be that golden season for these three players. And well, I've just got a notification at the top of my screen, ladies and gentlemen. I am joining a lobby. We're about to get out there for our first match. There it is at the top of the screen. Defenders versus Mr. Worldwide. We are waiting for the other team to join. We were the ones to start it at the moment. I actually think we're going to have to remake. Yeah, okay. The original server was unfortunately party only. We've got to let them in somehow. We've got to give them a chance. We've got to let this be settled on the pitch. But look, we have just recreated it. We are rejoining a new lobby where we can get our opponents in. Of course, we are going to be the highest seed for the entirety of today. I don't think it's possible unless something crazy happens in the lower bracket for that not to be the case. Actually, I think we're the highest seed in the group, so I don't even think there is a chance of that. But why am I talking about lower brackets? Ladies and gentlemen, enough of that nonsense. Let's get this party started. Defenders versus Mr. Worldwide is coming underway. I wish it would show. There we go! And it's going to be the first game of the season. RLCS 2025 is now well and truly underway. Defenders versus Mr. Worldwide. And starting things off, we've got Demos coming out here from Icon, letting himself be known early, putting some early blood on the pitch, trying to instill this fear into this opposing roster that know the seeding that they're working against. And Lesser joining in with the barrage of demos, letting themselves be known, just like I said. And I said that they would be having a bit of fun with it today, and we've seen so many clips of Smashy doing some of this wizardry, which he's already shown us for this first goal. I mean, little pogo to a sideways dribble, then pop it up to get past that third player. It's just so effortless. He makes it look so easy. And well, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I think we are in for a very, very fun season if we get more goals like that. It's Lasser. Looking to cut inside. Big bumps coming out, and Smashy does find that 50-50 out wide, and I'm interested to see what those stats will look like at the end of the game. It's, well and truly tied. They've got to start adding demos, I think, to the leaderboards, because I'd love to know how many Icon has already picked up. Smashy looking to get himself a Psycho in game 1 of the season. Why not? Well, so you have yourself a chance. Why not print yourself into the new season in as fancy a position as possible? Lasser with the second goal, and I feel like this is really going to be what we're going to come to expect for today's performances. They are going to be rather one-sided. It is going to be a top team against some sides which are, you know, looking to get their first proper experiences in. And well, Smashy again. Oh, that's beautiful. He's kept his flip as well, and Lasser says absolutely not good enough. If you let it bounce, you can't add that one to the montage. I'll tell you what, some honour amongst thieves between these players. And hold on, a big counter-attack coming in, and they will get their first goal here on the side of defenders. And well, they are a team that has had to do a whole lot of defending in this opening game. It could have been 3-0. Lasser was having absolutely none of it, and now I think this is when the legs start trembling for the Mr. Worldwide's players. And well, if you want something that causes you weak knees, gets people worried, have a look at our logo. Beautiful. It was like it was crafted by the gods. And oh, I hear that apparently M8 is struggling game 1. Well, that's not going to happen over here in Mr. Worldwide. That just goes to show you the caliber difference between those two teams. This is going to be a team looking to rob that spot off them. Mr. Worldwide's looking to make it 4 very quickly. We are just past that 2 minutes point of this first game, and Smashy giving some respect from former contenders in the RLCS, of course, with a Doomsy dish. And that one was finding the target, even without host's extra help. It just got it in quicker and, you know, gave them more time to play with, I guess you could say here. The side of the Worldwides. Icon. I feel like whenever I see his car, he's at supersonic or he's boosting towards it and he's facing a poor innocent blue car. Just looking to hold down the fort against a very top team. It is a really unfortunate matchup that they find themselves against here in round 2. They haven't even had any warm-ups because of Cold Blood Gaming not showing up. But I will say that on the other side of things, who we're looking to play in round 3 has been confirmed. It's going to be NLS Esports White, who have just gotten a win versus OX455A. I mean, what a team name, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately, we will not be able to see them on the other side. Instead, it is going to be a team of the likes of Karma. I don't believe that is the Karma we all know, of course, from North America, a great legend of the game. I do not believe that it is them here in the upper brackets. And also, along that side of them on this team is Eggs and Janino RL. I believe, weirdly enough, I have seen that name Janino before, but I'm not sure if that's just football knowledge seeping in. I've got way better knowledge, of course, of Rocket League, and I feel like I'm leaning towards Mr. Worldwide's taking this one pretty cleanly, but you never know. I've been proven wrong many a times. I just don't think the likes of Smashy, Icon and Lasser would embarrass me like that. And yeah, Novo, another strong roster. Definitely one to look out for. And I don't know what you guys are thinking at the moment this season, but I feel like this is going to be one of the most competitive seasons in terms of that, well, I would say 12 to 24 kind of range. There are so many great teams that can be competitive. I feel like the influx of talent we've had has been absolutely insane. And that's even after including that there are certain top European players who have gone overseas. I look at the likes of... I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Decapub done them. It's based on that, you know, silly Fortnite meme. I know they've gone off to APAC. That's a team with the likes of Dansky on it. I know he played for Eurovision last season. It was very competitive, making those day threes and definitely throwing a spanner in the works for a lot of these fringe rosters. Unfortunately, we have lost them from the region. They are firming the ping, as they would say in APAC, and I feel like they do have a extremely high chance of making top 16. But over here, we've got no easy routes to take. We are going to be taking on the toughest teams in the world here in Europe. And like I said, if we do go on to win all our games, chances are that we will see the likes of Stormtroopers at the end of day 2, at the end of tomorrow. And if that is the case, oof, they really will have their work cut out for them. Of course, Jorias, we remember when he was a bit of a wonder kid, came in a little bit late to the scene. I believe that was coming off the back of a ban from playing whilst he was underage, but, well, he's really established himself into the scene now. Apparently, Jack's a player that needs no introduction. There was definitely a time you could argue he was the best player in the world, definitely so in NA. And, well, one of the players leaving, so we can't see his stats, but I feel like the most important stat, unfortunately, isn't being showed on the screen. I would love to see the demos that these players have had, but 4 goals from Lasser and 4 goals from Smashy and 2 on Lasser are what we see on screen. That means Icon unfortunately wasn't able to pick up any, but let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it was goals he was after for the entirety of that first game. Potentially a car change in between these first 2 games. My argument is, if it's not broke, do not fix it. You're getting plenty of demos with the trusty Fennec. I don't think we need to bulk up anymore, and I certainly wouldn't squish ourselves down. You're giving Smashy so much space just to go for all of these pogos, these flip resets, these sideways dribbles. I don't even really know what that one is called when you're on the side of your car and you're dribbling it, but I tell you what, it is his trademark. I saw him on RLCS, in fact, scoring that exact same goal against a good friend of mine. But look, I'm sure he's going to RLCS a lot of players during the course of this season against a lot of top talent as well. And now we wait for this second game to go underway. We do have players very slowly joining the lobby, and there's a realistic chance that this will be the final one of winners round 2. And NLS Esports White, a team which has been waiting for us for quite some time. I hope they've switched over to this stream and seen what kind of performances they can come to expect against them. It's not going to be an easy road for them, and I feel like Mr. Worldwide will be licking their lips, looking across the bracket. It's Phil for real putting this one high. Lasser ready to dunk on that one, and I must say, 30 seconds gone by. I believe we have not yet seen a demo. And to that I say, that's absolutely disgraceful. I don't know how they are going to stand a chance if they don't get themselves back into those double digits like we saw before. I mean, put some cheers in the chat. Ask Lasser. Come on. Throw yourself back out there. They know you're there, but they can't dodge you. You're too powerful. Oh, hold on. He'll make up for it, however, if he can get a psycho here. It doesn't quite connect, but it's acted as a great pass to Icon. Looking to get fancy with the double tap as well. Taking a leaf out of his teammate's book with another pogo being incorporated. There we go. Smashy. Getting some inspiration from Lasser from the game beforehand. Big shots flying across, and hold on a minute. Mr. Worldwides have gone behind. Drama in day 1. We heard that gentlemates were struggling. Maybe Mr. Worldwides are as well. Will they be able to turn it around? What will they be able to bring? Panic here on the desk. Chat. Give them your widest support. This is their First real sign of adversity. And it's come in Series 1. Icon can't quite make the connection. Smashy finding himself on that right wall. Cairo going, I'm having absolutely none of that. I know what you're capable of. I'm not going for ball. I'm going for man. I'm throwing you away. Well, if there's no attack, we can be the true defenders. Lasser. Oh, cheeky little sidewall coming off that back wall. Unfortunately, it hasn't quite led to anything. Icon says, I'll show you how it's done. Lasser just laughs back as he flies wide from that one. Is there going to be a second goal on the boards here for defenders? Not quite. That one flies just wide of the wall. Smashy. Back wall looking to be red. And Lasser, I think, had a bit more faith in his teammates to make a connection there. Pre-jumped us an accord of it. By the end of it, was made to look a little bit silly by his teammate. Icon looking to tap it wide. That one just wide of a target. Smashy can't finish that one off. Lasser unable to break the lines as well. We're past that halfway point. And it's dangerous here for Mr. Worldwide. Big blocks coming out. Slight double commit coming from defenders. Lasser sees Icon high. 0 boost. I think he's going to resort to his other teammate who doesn't make the connection yet again. That counter-attack is being thrown across. And oh, that's a really unfortunate bounce. He's almost put it in his own net. Icon has nothing in the tag. There were so many opportunities for defenders to double the lead. Instead, I think it's going to run away from them. And Smashy, so cheeky with how he does it as well. Cheeky chappy. Believe it or not, I was watching Kingsman before the stream, and well, Smashy with a tasty shot similar to that of Eggsy. Smashy again, bringing this one out wide straight off the kickoff. Lasser will stay close. Don't think he got quite the touch he wanted, but Icon will be happy to clean things up. Pops it over to first. Not much left of the tank. Does still get that Arsenal reset. Player of which I saw announced his retirement. That was an unfortunate player to lose from the scenes, but as players leaves, greater ones will join, and these 3 players are looking to put themselves amongst those same ranks. You're going to miss these players when they're gone. So ladies and gentlemen, bookmark this stream. Remember this moment. This is going to be the season they make a name for themselves. And you want to say that you were there early for it, watching it start to unfold, because this is where many stories have, well, not begun, but certainly might reach a higher point. Lasser playing it high off that ceiling. We'll have to go alone for that 50-50 for now. Doesn't get that first touch. I don't know if that was a fake attempt or he just about mistimed that touch. Icon has a flip reset. Smashy wants to steal it. That one's on target. Host will hit this one out, and now 60 seconds separating us from the end of this game and the next. That's actually a great shot coming from Host. Lasser, first real test there in defense, and despite them maybe being caught a bit off guard, he's done really well to stretch himself out to those wider posts. That is fantastic, and we knew that they'd be able to show themselves off offensively today here, with them likely being the favourite roster, but by quite a bit of way. But I didn't think we'd be able to get a defensive highlights, but I think we've had one right there. Lasser, you can do that against some of the higher teams later today, tomorrow, and beyond. I think we're going to be in a really good spot! And what a shot here from Lasser! Just as we want to compliment his defensive efforts, he shows us that all thirds belong to him. As does this first series, we will see NLS Esports White in the winners round 3. That is game, set, and match here for Mr. Worldwide. Ferocious, like a pit bull. I may have used that pun early, and I may have called this game early as well. Because Phil, for real, has gotten himself on the score sheet. The Season 15 Diamond Tournament winner does put this game within 1. Now, with 4 seconds remaining, there is opportunity for a kick-off goal. I'm getting flashbacks to a certain South American matchup. Icon doesn't seem to be as concerned as he just sits there on the pitch. But that is game over. Thank you follow Mr. Icon. What a series you just had. Let's see that again in winners round 3. Here are the stats for that game we just saw. It was what we'd call, I guess, a team ace in any other esport. But of course, this is Rocket League. Just a well-rounded performance. I don't think we have to look at those for much longer. Said very plain and simply in chat, we move on. Fair play to the other team as well, the defenders. They were able to get themselves on the score sheet. They were really good sports throughout that entire series. And, well, they kind of got sent here against Mr. Worldwide, against a team who I don't think would have favoured themselves against heading into this. And they were also actually the lowest seeded team coming from winners round 1. But after the DQ from Cold Blood Gaming, they were thrown here. I hope that was a great experience for them. It was a great experience for myself personally to witness Mr. Worldwide, having a bit of fun. We definitely saw a lot more demos than I think we're going to see for the next upcoming days, maybe even this season. Lasser really throwing himself out there in that first game, and we definitely saw Icon having his piece of a par as well. But that game 3, I'm going to mention his name again, it was Lasser. Sidewall, fantastic save. All thirds of the pitch completely dominated. It felt like he could 1v3 any team with that kind of performance. But now they are waiting to be tested against NLS Esports White before our winners quarter-final, which ideally will be the final series of the day. That's going to be against either Synergy Void or Vase Esports. We'll just change this bar overlay to show, of course, our opponents for the next series. They managed to take their game in, I believe it was a game 3. Yes, it was indeed. These teams were a bit more closer seeded, hence why they didn't get a bye necessarily, but they were able to play in the winners round 2. They didn't have to wait up for anyone. That is just the nature of the bracket at the moment. I believe that seeding would have us playing against the likes of Synergy Void, but listen, we don't go off those expectations. Of course, that's not always how it rolls. We're just going to have to wait to see how that one goes over. Excuse me. And we are just getting details for that next game as this one also gets submitted. If you do want to follow the bracket alongside me, I've got it here on a second monitor. Maybe you can have it on a mobile device or maybe your own if you have one yourself. It is !bracket. There you go, Dunker Avocado, showing me perfectly how it's done. And it should ideally take you to the exact pool as well. Let me know, of course, if that is the case. And, of course, if you do want to follow these teams as well, their coach, their manager, shout out to Nordic Verdane, the coach, and manager George, who we're not necessarily going to see on stream here today, but definitely contribute to a lot of his action. Well, you see it at the top, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the lobby. The players are waiting for another best of 3, and oof, I kind of pre-placed that 2-0 beforehand. I forgot to reset. Hopefully that is how it's going to sit by the end of it. We will just move ourselves over to the game screen now. Ladies and gentlemen, second series of the day. Ideally the penultimate one if all goes to plan and as expected. Sit back, grab some popcorn and enjoy the show. It is Mr. Worldwide's Icon. Starting things off with a strike. Great save coming up the gates here. You can already feel that this is a team of a higher caliber. But Lasser just takes it to another level. That's another one to add to the day 1 highlights. Not even 20 seconds gone by. And that one flies in long and oh. I believe I saw sparks on my screen. I don't quite know what happened there with one of the players, but we do still have a 3v3 going and plays have continued, so I don't think it was anything too egregious. Icon, big redirect to send it long. Janino will take this one close. And I was mentioning Kingsman, I was mentioning Eggsy. We've got a player called Eggs here on the pitch. If you don't call that a coincidence, I don't know what will. Smashy. Up, looking to potentially fake out a flip reset. His teammate was calling for it to try and nab that one from him in the air. Didn't quite make that connection, and You just know in these kinds of matches, they like to have fun with it. You'll see, I think, a lot more pre-jumping than you're going to come to expect in the later days. But like I said before, I feel like it does just help get these players warm, gets them friendly, gets them confidence. Maybe if there was less goal stealing involved, we'll see how that comes to effect afterwards. Smashing, and that's a great read coming off the crossbar, and a fantastic save to follow there from Janino as well. But Icon says he has enough. Simple double tap, and I feel like these ones are harder to perfect than it would look. Yes, the ball's moving slowly, but he's got limited boost left there in the tank, and still, just for a touch of class, giving him only 24 to spare. That's control at the top level. Like I said, this is just what this kind of player brings. Karma looks to break through to 50-50, and to be fair to our opponents here, unless Esports White, this is a fantastic little play. Still a 1-goal difference. I still don't think we're going to be feeling any fear from our very own players, but we'll just have to see how this one unfolds. It was a nice cheeky little play. I do think we caught a little bit off guard by that. There has definitely been a bit of a skill jump in opponents between Series 1 and Series 2, and that is definitely no disrespect to the defenders who still were able to get some goals in, even put our team behind in that second game. But ultimately, it's so hard to consistently beat a team this consistent. An Icon with the snipe into the top right corner. Postage stamp, send it away to day 2. 3 minutes on the cards in this third game. Sorry, first game. Well, it is third game of the day, I guess. This is, of course, a best of 3, so the winner of this game does put themselves on match point, as is expected from this roster. We are looking for that coveted 6-0 day, and, well, we maybe had the briefest of hiccups in the second game, but that was quickly quelled by a very dominant second half of that match. And ever since then, this team really hasn't let go of the gas. Plenty of double taps. This has been, you know, a little backboard training match for them. It's like it's been a training pack made by Paquito and Lassa. Hold on a minute. That would have been a lovely way to get yourself your 4th goal. Fortunately, didn't quite make that connection. He's going to have to settle with those goals he got before being the best ones of the day from him. Icon, double tap again, and he is just so special. It feels like once he's got that boost, that space, that backboard, it's guaranteed goal. You want to be sitting in defense and praying a little bit that they are going to miss. But the truth is, if we're being realistic, it's not going to happen when you're against these 3 players. It is their bread and butter. It's as easy for them to score these double taps as it is for any mortal to breathe. Smashy high, Karma. Looking to pounce on him, looking to get that second goal, looking to find some hope in this first game, but it's all shut down, thrown to the other side. Icon throwing himself up as the third man. You see how quick the rotations are able to overlap each other so quickly, and it's not like they're moving all that fast. Their brains are always just ahead. They're already moving to that second position as soon as their job is done. Feels like they barely need a liquor boost to get themselves in the correct way. That double commit, however, definitely not a part of the playbook. But it's unpunished with how quickly they can recover themselves. Smashy wanted that sidewall to progress the play in these final minutes, and you see Icon pre-jumps with that one. He's found the player. Lasso will be the last. And not quite a 3-man play as that one rebounds off the post. Icon, big pound, Smashy on that back wall. Would have been a great recovery. Couldn't quite find it. Smashy over top yet again. Icon out wide. They're looking to continue the play here. They're looking to get themselves a 5th. When this team smells that blood in the water, they don't sit back. They're not happy with a 1-goal difference. 2, 3, still not enough for this team. They want to score as many as they can, and they want to do it in as fancy of a fashion as possible. Smashy, fortunately a bit too fancy for his teammate there. And it is thrown straight down the other end. 2-goal difference now. 12 seconds left. But I don't think we're going to see that confidence drop here. Any heads facing the ground here from Mr. Worldwide, looking out full of confidence. And hold on a minute, it's another kick-off goal to make it 3. And well, maybe there is a chance if they can get another kick-off goal like that. And how do you manage to stream? Thought you had to ask RLCS. You do. You have to submit a team stream request, and we did do exactly that. Just like any other team, team streams do not have to be on an official organisation account. You can have the likes of casters and content creators running it. And I put myself down as the caster, as the content creator for this roster with their discretion. And it is an absolute honour to be here on the broadcast to witness these players. Icon was able to get himself a hat-trick in that game, and it was 3 goals of quite fantastic proportion as well. They certainly were not tap-ins. He plays with a bit more fire than that, and we'll see if that can continue in the second game of this series. I saw Lasser came over and dropped a follow. Thank you very much, my friend. It's another fantastic game from the team, and I'm very interested if these players are willing to do an interview afterwards, which one of them will step up to the plate and join the broadcast. And of course, when that moment comes, I hope that you guys in chat will be ready for it. And if you want me to pass along any questions to those players, of course let me know and I will do exactly that. But still, all this focus on interviews, all this focus for after the job is done, I don't need to remind anyone here that that job hasn't been completed yet. Still got more to go here from the Mr. Worldwides. We are back on the pitch for another showdown, hopefully the final one against NLS Esports White, as they look to be facing silver in this matchup. Eggs 50-50'd here by Smashy. Ball goes high. Icon waiting here wide. I saw someone in chat calling him the GOAT. I'm sure Smashy will be as well. Infield pass been played here by Icon. Smashy just got that job done. Lasser going for those demos like we saw earlier today. I'm wondering if that's going to be a part of the further game plan when they play those tougher rosters a little bit further down the line. Lasser high. Played back to his teammate, Icon. Pre-jumped for it. I don't think Smashy was quite in with that plan that he attempted to unfold there. Icon. Forward coming from Karma. Icon waiting behind. Smashy. I was wondering there if he was going to go for bump or ball. Did settle for the ball. Lasser is up. He's got time. He's got space. Is this basically a goal? No. Janino does well to find that one on the back wall. Smashy again. Looking for those backboards, and that's a team that has certainly learnt its lesson from game 1. When you leave an open backboard to the likes of Mr. Worldwide, it's almost a guaranteed goal at this point. You might as well leave the net completely open. And Lasser doing a bit of defensive work, but I think it's for the wrong team. Things have been shut down here. Smashy will hold it up. 50-50 being played. It is credited as a save, but I don't think there was ever a moment where he felt in danger. Lasser, that shows confidence. Having a bit of fun going for these fake plays in front of your own goal line. Icon not really budging as he makes that save as well. You don't see any panicked boost. He didn't use any more than he needed to, and that just shows the experience from these players. 18 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old, I believe it is, respectively, for these 3 sides. In the grand scheme of things, not very old players, for sure. We've definitely got a few 22s, 23s in the scene, but definitely ones that have been around for some time now. They know what it's like to be at the highest levels. All of them have had their RLCS points before. Smashy showing some of those mechanics, showing some of those hours. He's grinding the game with these consistencies off the side wall. One of the hardest mechanics in the game, and it just feels like he treats it like any other. Smashy has a tough angle coming off that side wall. I think he wanted to find a teammate. Icon was able to pick it up instead. Lasser high off the corner. No one waiting in field, so he's going to have to go alone. Janino sends it wide. And only one goal being scored in this second game. It hasn't exactly been fireworks, but you can tell that Mr. Worldwide have been just having a little bit of fun with it. A lot of those pre-jumps, a lot of which not quite come together. A lot of these sidewall reads as well. And also, a team on the other side that is just throwing the kitchen sink at them. Janino's waiting. Eggs, once that shot, and maybe if he generated a bit of power behind it, he would have been able to test Mr. Worldwide's defense. Didn't quite find itself. Janino back to Eggs on the wall. These are the kind of plays that we saw Mr. Worldwide's going for the majority of the day. Like to give them a taste of their own medicine, and just like say that, Lasser facing a bump. That's going to be a feeling he's inflicted on many opponents throughout this day. Smashy looking for that read as well, off the waterfall. Those ones even harder than the side, even harder than the backboard, arguably. Still came so close to finding that connection. 70 seconds, Icon. Bring that high, Lasser's coming off that ceiling. Icon wants another touch to throw it closer to him. Smashy is caught high of the play, but still looking to wrap himself around. That bump comes in, and there was a little moment there where it looked like there was a realistic chance of a concession here against Mr. Worldwide's. They've done well to make the best of it. Janino loses that ball to Icon. Looked to dunk on him with a poster play there. Didn't quite find itself together. And Icon calm before the ball was being played infield for them. Ceiling pinch here to Lasser. Doesn't quite get on the end of it. We do have 30 seconds left in this game. As it stands, we will be heading into the winners' quarter-finals to play against the team which was expected to be our opponents via seeding. Will be Synergy Void. And they are already going to be waiting for us. They haven't been waiting that long. I don't expect they will be unless a goal gets thrown in here by some miracle for the Whites. But I think we're going to just let this ball hit the floor, and I think we'll be heading straight into the winners' quarter-finals. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a job well done. Mr. Worldwide do take victory. We'll see you all in the quarter-finals to face on Synergy Void, and for that is going to be, and I mean this, an extremely short break. I'll see you after. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that we have had a nice little moment to breathe here. It's been a very exciting first two series of the season of RLCS 2025. My goodness, what, the 3rd of January? And we're having this level of action? Well, 2 chances to qualify into day 2, but we're going to be looking to get it one and done. We do face a team of a significantly higher seeding of the team we played before, Synergy Void. It's a team of Sky, Zane and Blazer with a seed 230. These are going to be some very capable players, some that could throw some spanners towards us, but ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, we are expected to take this one. We are sitting at seed 27th, and anyone who knows these caliber of players will know that they are certainly good enough to not only win this series, but to get it in a pretty confident, sweeping fashion as well. That is left, of course, to be decided on the pitch. There is a reason that the world isn't just ran by seeding. And just as we wait for those opponents to join the lobby, we will get ourselves started. We were the ones to make it, so we're just waiting for their response. If you're around here and this is your first time in the SirPigasus stream, thank you so much for joining, and of course thank you as well to the likes of manager George for getting me involved. He was the one who DM'd me. He's a manager for the entire team. He does so much work off screens as well, especially when it comes to organizations as well. And saw someone in chat saying who we projected to face in day 2. Well, if you use ! bracket at the end of a bracket, it will say day 2 double elimination. If you click onto that and then press show projected as a tick box in the top left, it will tell you by seeding who we would be expected to play in day 2 should we win in uppers. I will tell you that at the moment it is looking to be a team called Clown9, which I think is quite an incredible name. Then in round 2, a very good team by the name of Sick we will be expected to play. That's going to have some very familiar names on the roster. Then in round 3, the likes of Stormtroopers, who I would say are pretty much locked into that winners quarterfinal spot tomorrow. So whoever manages to qualify from our side of the bracket, whether it's us, whether it's Sick, whether it's Clown9 or some of these other teams I'm facing, they'll have to likely take on the like of apparently Jack, Jorias and Stizzy. This is a team which is extremely good. I mean, do I really need to say it? They are insanely good. We saw them in some of the Baguette tournaments as well. We've seen them play off-season. I mean, you just look at the names on that team as well. There's no real doubt in my mind that that is going to be the team to look out for, and the one that we're going to have to put up quite the fight up against. I want to say if we get to that point, when we get to that point. I said I was confident for this team, and that still remains. Why would it change after any of today's performances? Why would it change after everything I've seen over the years? I casted Smashy making his way into the main event last season, and then when he was at the main event, I would say that he was probably the best player. He was fantastic, and you know, he had some tough teammates to outshine as well, the likes of Matt and someone else. But Synergy Void have joined the lobby. You can see it at the top left of the screen. I'm seeing SSL tags. This is a real time to show yourself. This is the difference between SSL and an inspiring pro team, a bubble team. One's looking to get themselves to the very top. Best of 3 to show exactly that. And we have gotten underway. Synergy Void versus Mr. Worldwide. It starts off with us breaking our way into their half of the pitch. First shot already thrown on Boban. Managing to keep that one out. You can already see the increase in control, the tighter rotations, the higher confidence that these opponents have. Tension palpable in the air here on, I believe it is Manfield Knight. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lasser looking to stamp himself onto the map with his first goal. Isn't quite able to sneak his way through. Boban sends it long. Well, we see a player waiting there for the mid boost. It does go back towards him. Smashy getting that 50-50. They've got an offense to try and slow down. Double taps attempted against them. Not quite the consistency that we've seen from our players being shown by the other in that regard. 3-man play. Icon. Backboard. Show them how it's done. Smashy unable to generate the power behind it. We see the players fall back, retreat, look to face what's going to be a dangerous attack now after that demo. Smashy, however, able to keep it close to teammate Icon. Third man, just able to throw himself back into the play, and ladies and gentlemen, can you feel it? This is the first series, the first test for the team. The first ones that could, by some stroke of chance, take a game off us. We know who the favourites are. They're looking to prove it in this attack B. Looking to send it long, but that demo across from Smashy will weaken this offense. 2v3 against the likes of Mr. Worldwide is not going to be easy, and you can see it start to break away, and when those counterattacks come, they come quick. Doesn't matter how little is left in the tank. B with another shot. Lasser throwing it out wide. Smashy uses his empty jump here, regains it with that flip reset. Boban wanted to pop it for a teammate, but the speed of Lasser is unmatched. Smashy has the first shot saved there by Boban. You felt the warning felt by Synergy Void. Icon had another trick in his toolbox to get that first goal underway. What a touch there off the sidewall. Pre-flip for the flip reset as well. And it never even touched the ground. That's class. That's Lasser. Lasser. Back off that wall. Smashy. Looking to get it off that corner. Boban has been forced to avoid that one. Still maintains all this boost of the tank, but he doesn't make a connection. No player there in field, however. Ready to collect. Smashy. Doesn't seem to fool Icon there. He knew he was going to be beaten in that chance. We didn't overcommit towards it. It's smart plays being shown here by Mr. Worldwide. And as a result, they were able to hold that ball in the opposing half for quite some time. Back passes from B will just find Lasser. Lip reset. Icon sitting behind. Smashy's the third option. But none are needed. Lassie goes alone. And it's a cheeky bit of mustard on the end of it. Well, I said this team would be cooking. And they are serving us a beautiful platter in this first day. When I told you all that day 2 wasn't all we were going for, day 3, day 4 are what I want from this team. I meant it. So confident in this first day. Goals after goals. Highlight shot after highlight shot. Do they really look like they're slowing down? More time being spent in this opposing third. Energy void. Struggling to breathe underneath it. Lasser. Oh, he might just go alone. He saw a teammate on his screen. Might not need it if he gets that read. He does now. Icon. Can't get it off the corner. Smashy sending it high. And that double doesn't quite land. Rise. Oh, doesn't get the touch he wanted. And that's dangerous. You cannot afford to be making mistakes. And you can see that mistake in the form of their boost counts at the moment a little bit lower than they would have wanted in those important positions at the moment. As a result, they haven't been able to break out their half. They've barely been able to break out of their own box. A bump there landing on Smashy will shut down that attack temporarily, but I feel like we're going to see Icon try and pounce here. That pressure was applied. Smashy was there to collect. 3-0 in the final minute. This game looks as good as gone. We've seen goals been thrown in quickly as a result of the kickoffs today, but I don't think we're going to be as careless against Energy Void. See if I'm proven right or wrong with that start. That's landed perfectly. That was a playbook attempt. Smashy had it on the top of his car. It was a good demo to follow. And oh, he's going to have to bail out of that one. Touch not quite connecting there by the Energy Void play. And you can just see the slight differences in consistency between these two sides. Because some of these players, if they land, they are dangerous. It's just not as high of a success rate than if you had the likes of Lasser, if you had the likes of Icon, if you had the likes of Smashy on the end of it. 30 seconds remaining in this first game. Mr. Worldwide's looking to get themselves on qualification point for day 2. And well, with us entering those final 15 seconds, those probabilities simply increasing. Welcome to the stream, Roly Pokey. Things are looking good for Mr. Worldwide. They absolutely are. And like I said, this is not just me, smiling full of confidence for how day 1 will go. I'm already confident with how day 2 will be as well. There is an opening win here for the Worldwide. Lasser will take your MVP here. But it was a full team effort shown from this entire roster. Goals all round here. Some very mechanical ones being shown as well. I believe Lasser and Icon definitely having the ones to really steal the highlight reels. Only one save required. That's coming from 2 shots. Only one finding the target so far from our blue side's Energy Void. And well, at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to be really slowed down. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll switch temporarily to the main screen as they just get themselves loaded back into the action. Saw someone in chat saying this game and the next one and we qualify. We actually only need this one game, I believe. Do we actually have another? If it would be... Oh, no other games after this. It's like I expected. If Mr. Worldwide are able to win this one, it is over for day 1. Instant qualification into day 2. And of course, via the upper brackets. And I must say, the advantage that being in the uppers cannot be understated. You play less games, you can of course have that buffer, and you get to have some experience against some really tough sides as well. Like I said, we're expected to play the likes of Sick, the likes of Stormtroopers if all goes well, and Lasser is warming himself up for those very games. Lovely attempted play there coming from Smashy, but when things do not quite go together, he knows he has the backing of two very capable, insanely strong players. That's what makes a top 16 team. That's what makes a team that can go even further. Early stages here in 2025. The year has just begun. Players perhaps just recovering from the likes of their New Year celebrations, I'm sure. If any one of these players would be fine, it would be Smashy. If you know, you know. But I've seen great performances all round, which have suggested that that's not quite been a problem for anyone. Smashy in field. Looking to find Lasser. He's been so mechanically insane all day. We'll see if he can bring another one on here. Doesn't quite come together, but Icon keeps it simple with an open shot. 2-0 here in the second game, and it could be the one to cement their play. Still 3 minutes, 38 seconds left, but we haven't seen any real threatening play so far from Synergy Void. They had their one on-target shot in that first game, and that was made pretty light work here from the Worldwide's defense. 50-50 again here from Smashy. You can see the confidence from these players. They know it. I know it. We know it. Day 2 upper bracket is certainly coming. Icon. Flip reset. Looking to advance alone. Has nothing left in the tank here, but B will send it wide anyway, so no real hopes of a goal. Smashy with a double tap. Crossbar just hits. A third goal would have been nice. I'm not sure if it's necessarily required. Again, it's all about that confidence. It's all about putting yourself in the perfect position so that you can feel primed for what is going to be a much tougher day 2. Lasser with the cheeky little fake after that ceiling bounce. Completely outplays the opposing defense. Said it before, game set and match. I think that's day 1 complete. 2 minutes 50. For our opponents to bring out something special and to try and change my mind, but when Mr. Worldwides are playing like this, not many teams can stop them, and I think we're going to see that tomorrow when we are going to see very recognisable names wearing blue. And still the results going on the side of the Mr. Worldwides. Winners POV is what they call us, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to stay true for quite a while. Icon finding this ball high. He had a teammate up right behind him, Smashy, but he just simply wasn't required. He can go all the way alone. He's pushed Smashy aside and said, look, they call me Icon for a reason. I'm going to be exactly that. Just crossing the halfway point here of this second game. 4 goals. That's an amount sometimes you see from a whole team in the entirety of a best of 3. We're seeing it here in one game, in the first half of one game. Lots of games being mentioned there, but I tell you, it's a very short time overall. There's the 5th. Icon securing that one, and I will just have a look at the rest of the bracket here in our group. If there's been any interesting results, I've seen Cloud9, who were expected by seeding to be our opponents in day 2, have dropped down here to the lower bracket. They faced a sweep against the likes of Earth 4 Door. This is a team consisting of, let me just have a look here. Oh, that's a strong roster. That's a really strong roster. Marshy, Ols and Muncan. If they are who are now projected to play us in the upper bracket of day 2, my goodness. We've certainly got ourselves a job on our hands. We would, I would say, still be the favourite in that matchup. But that would, like I said, have to be shown. One little consolation goal here landing from B. As we still wait for this game to fizzle out and for our qualification to be set in stone. Bartomusa also expected to play us. I'm very interested to see who's on that roster as well. And of course, if you do want to access this bracket I'm looking at the moment, it is exclamation mark bracket. Bartomusa is a team of Stutter, Solo, and Labo. The more names that are to be recognised, I would say Earthador are definitely the ones I'm more familiar with, especially the likes of Marshy and Ols. They play a lot in these community tournaments, bubble tournaments, the likes of the Redirect Monthly, which I've just seen Quanzek has just joined the stream. We've definitely casted the likes of those players before together. Very tough sides if they are able to grab that victory, but as it stands, I don't think there are many teams, even if there are names you can recognise on the other side, that will be able to break past us until, you know, you're looking at the likes of course, those apparently Jacks and the like, of which we have a realistic chance to play in the final qualification game of day 2 if we do stay in that upper bracket. 45 seconds to go, and this ball's staying in the corner. This is a way to whittle the time down. Your corner, deceptively safe, is something you always learn. You don't want the ball in the centre of the pitch, because that's exactly what can happen. A third goal thrown in, and I think for many this would be a bit of a cause for concern, because all of a sudden the floodgates supposedly opening for these opponents. We were able to score a bunch of goals in the first half, and questions might be, why can't they? I'll tell you why they can't, because they're not Lassus, Smashy and Icon. We make the impossible possible. We make deep runs into the RLCS, and that would have been a nice shot there coming from Rise, but it hasn't quite found its way. Final 10 seconds. I can see the yellow text on the screen. It's going to be a sign of panic here from Synergy Void. We have passed that point now. It is guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Worldwide sweep their way through day 1 and remain in the upper bracket for the second day. Opponent still TBC, but at this point, after this performance, questions stand. Does it really matter? Really impressed from the performance from the players. There was another hat trick on the back of Icon. 2 goals there for Lasser as well. 3 assists from Smashy, being that playmaker. And well, I will have a conversation with the players to see if we can pull one of them up for an interview. So if you do have any questions, throw them in chat. But like I said, that is not going to be guaranteed. One thing that is guaranteed is we will be back on the SirPigasus stream tomorrow for day 2. I will be back after a break, perhaps with an interview. We will see you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mr. Worldwide broadcast. Unfortunately, for today, there will not be an interview, but allow the players. They've got a very tough day tomorrow. It's, of course, day 2. If you want to follow who they'll be playing up against, of course, it is exclamation mark bracket. Yet again, click that day 2, and you'll be able to follow the journey of the other side of the bracket for any players we have a potential chance to come up against. It is going to be 5 GMT tomorrow, same time as today, where we should be going live and underway. There won't be a bye beforehand as well. There's going to be no matches to wait for, so we should be able to jump straight into it. I really hope that you've enjoyed this stream. I hope you're excited to follow the journey of this roster, because ladies and gentlemen, it has only just begun. Smashy, Icon, Lasser. What a roster. If you want to support them, exclamation mark team to follow them on Twitter as well. And of course, if you could follow the stream as well, that would be lovely. Oh, hold on. Icon in chat says he's going to be doing an interview. Love to hear it. We'll throw him in. Icon, I will message you on Discord. And you know what? We're going to have an interview after the break. I think that was a certain George masterclass. I'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mr. Worldwide stream, and we have, in fact, gotten ourselves an interview, an absolutely legendary player who's had a fantastic performance today. Would you like to introduce yourself to the stream, my good friend Icon?
Hello.
There he is, and I see that Discord audio is working. People in chat, please tell me if you can hear him very well, but Of course, day one, you swept your way over the entire time. It looked like nothing really went wrong. This was kind of what was kind of expected, that you would be successful in this day one in quite dominant fashion. What are your prospects for the rest of the days? Because of course it starts to ramp up pretty quickly, and I feel like a bit quicker than it did in previous seasons.
What's the prospects for tomorrow?
Yes.
Win, probably.
Win? I love that. I think you're going to be...
That's probably it. As long as we win, uppers.
Yeah.
But I think we played Carmine. So,
I think you play Stormtroopers, I believe, in the final
Stormtroopers
round.
changed, yeah.
That's the team, of course, of apparently Jack, Jorius, and Stizzy. Do you fancy a go on them?
Never heard of those guys, to be honest.
How about Sick?
See, we've never actually played six, so I don't know.
Really? Wow.
I think it could be close. We have, but not together.
Okay.
Haven't played them together.
I think there's also a chance in the first round that you play the team of Forder, and I'm sure there are some names on there you'll recognise: Marshy, Ols, and Muncan. Do you have anything you want to say to them here on stream? If you do end up playing them in that first round, they still have to win against Barta Musa, which is Stutter, Solo, and Labour.
Oz is going to get battered tomorrow.
Well said. Well said. And how are you feeling with your new team this season? I saw that you played in a pre-season tournament as well, and you were able to put up a pretty good fight in that one. Of course, you've got one of the best coaches, I'm going to say, in EU alongside you as well, and the manager, George, as well behind you. What's your general confidence behind this roster?
I think we could do some damage this season. I think we're getting a bit underestimated.
I'd agree.
From people, which I like. I like it. I'd rather become an underdog than have all the pressure on you. But I don't mind. I love pressure anyway.
We love that.
So,
we love that. Hoping you can bring that fight then for that day two. And I'm going to say it even further in this first qualifier. He says he's being considered the underdog. He says that he loves to prove people wrong and he doesn't feel the pressure. I feel like, Icon, that sums you up absolutely perfectly. And I'm very excited to watch you and the rest of the team go underway tomorrow. And like I said, even further. Is there anyone you want to say to the audience at home? I saw some people in chat throwing quite a lot of support to yourself specifically.
Hope I can get 33 demos in one game instead of 32. Next time.
It was 32. Thank you for getting the 32. Number. I really wanted to know what that was, actually. I didn't have the stat collected.
I thought it was 41, but it was 32.
We'll be looking out tomorrow. You've said it now, Icon. I feel like you've established a bit of a culture in this first day. You've put your expectations up so high. I better be seeing this, day in, day out, every single qualifier.
I have a little demo here and there. Oh, you'll see much of those.
Is that part of a Nordic strategy, or is that an Icon special?
That's an Icon special. If you looked at the last RLCS, you'd see where I was most dominant.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
No one had anything on me with demos.
Well, I'm very excited to see all of those happen. It's going to be explosive on and off the pitch. This is the kind of performances you come to expect here with Mr. Worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us here for the interview here, Icon. And thank you to everyone else in chat for showing up to this stream. This is going to be put to bed now, and we will see all you guys again 5 GMT tomorrow to watch the likes of Icon have another field day. Tougher competition, but same expectations. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.